Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss part 2 of the invitation. Part 2 of the invitation. Okay. As you all know very well that to invite someone we have to draft an invitation. Fine. And invitation are of two types. First one is formal and second one is informal. And we know very well that formal invitation are of two types. Again, invitation has two categories, formal and informal. Okay. And formal invitation are of two types. How? One is printed one. Fine. And second one is handwritten or typed invitation. So printed one we are sending in bulk, and handwritten we are sending to someone who is very VIP. Suppose in case you have to invite education minister to your school in the annual function, so you will draft which kind of the invitation? Formal invitation, handwritten. Okay, not printed. Printed one we have to write in bulk. We are sending to everyone. That is one by one. That is printed invitation. Now we have already cleared it that characteristics of invitation, formal invitations are. Features of formal invitation is what? That it is written in the third person. We are not using I am inviting. Suppose in case I have to write the invitation, then how will I write? Mrs. XYZ. Okay. Request the pleasure of your company. So it is written in the third person. It is a single sentence presentation. We are not using full stop, comma, any punctuation mark is not used, and at last we will close it in a box. The simple present tense is used, then enclosed in a box, do not exceed 50 words. It is nowhere written that we should not use more than 50 words, but it is the standard criteria to write in 50 words. If a word limit is given to us, then we have to follow the actual word limit. Okay. Then the format of the invitation is formal invitation. How we are writing? Name of the host. Suppose in case I have to write like this way. So I'll write Mrs. or Ms. Okay. Mrs. or Ms. Name of the host or hosts. Mrs. and Mr. XYZ. Mrs. PQR. Okay, whatever. Then standard expression. Request the pleasure of your company, or solicit your benign presence, or cordially invite. So we can use whatever we like. Then purpose of the invitation, for what you are writing. So Mrs. and Mr. Then standard expression we have to use over here. Purpose of the invitation, birthday, ring ceremony. Okay, then we can write down annual function, housewarming ceremony, whatever. Then time, name of the honoree. Suppose in case you are drafting an invitation. Okay, you are drafting a formal invitation for your sister's ring ceremony. Then you have to write down Mrs. and Mr. XYZ. Request the pleasure of your company on the grand occasion of ring ceremony. Ring ceremony of their daughter. We have to write down the honoree, birthday person, whatever. Then we have to write down timeline on date. We have to mention date, day and time, whatever the time. Okay. The name of the place, location, where you are hosting that party, wherever you are hosting that party, function, all we have to mention that address. And at last we will use RSVP this way. Here we will use RSVP. RSVP is a French expression, respond, day, sell, war, play. It means respond if you please. Okay. So if you would like to send the reply, then you will send it on the address whatever is mentioned in the RSVP. So this is the way of writing formal invitation. Printed one, name of the host, who is drafting the invitation, then standard expression, request the pleasure, then function, then name of the honoree, then time, date, line, then at last name of the place and RSVP. Okay, and we will close it in a box. Okay, now we will do some questions related to the formal invitation. Then we will carry on with more exercises. Hello, so now we will see some examples of invitation and which kind of the invitation nowadays are we discussing? Formal invitation. As we all know very well that formal invitations are of two kinds. First one is printed and the second one is as we have discussed typed or handwritten. Fine. And formal printed one is to be sent in bulk and the second one is sent to be VIP person. Okay. So now see a question over here. Suppose you are a student of Sacred Heart Convent School, MacLeod-Guns, and the school is holding its annual function at 5 p.m. on 5th September 2020. The Education Minister of the state has consented to be the chief guest. Design an invitation card to be sent to the parents and other invitees. Do not exceed 50 words. So first of all, we have to note down the point. Which point? Name of the host, because we have to write. I have on that day it is already clear to you that we have to mention first of all what name of the host. Who is the name? What is the name? Sacred Heart Convent School, MacLeod-Ganj. Okay. If you are writing what? If you are writing the principal and the staff member, it is also okay. Then we can see which function, beta? Annual function. For what are you writing? Annual function. Okay. And time is mentioned over here, date is mentioned over here, whatever we need. Okay. So we have to write in that way. We have what? Annual function at 5 p.m. on 5th September. And the Education Minister of the state has consented to be the chief guest. Okay. And the name of the host is Principal or Sacred Convent School, MacLeod-Ganj. Okay, now we will see the answer. Okay, now we will see the answer. The principal, staff and the students. You can directly write Sacred Heart Convent School, but here principal, staff and the students. Who is the host? Principal, staff and the students. Name of the institution? Sacred Heart Convent School, MacLeod-Ganj. Now second line is which line? Request line. Okay, request line or the standard expression. You can use solicit your benign presence, you can use cordially invite you, or Sacred Heart request the pleasure of your company on the occasion of. Which occasion? Annual function. So see, if you have the ring ceremony, then you are writing in which way? Mrs. and Mr. Mrs. and Mr. Suppose in case you have the ring ceremony at your home. So how are you writing? Mrs. and Mr. Okay. And the second line will be the same. Request the pleasure of your company on the grand occasion of. Fine. Same thing is mentioned over here. Principal, staff and students of Sacred Heart Convent School, MacLeod-Ganj, request the pleasure of your company. Request the pleasure of your company on the occasion of. Which occasion? Annual function. Okay. Name of the honorary of the school. Okay. Date, time, venue at 5 p.m. on 5th September 2020 in the school auditorium. Okay. Now everything is mentioned over here. Then Shri JD Dhiman, Education Minister, Himachal Pradesh, has kindly consented to be the chief guest and give away the prizes. And at last we have to mention RSVP. What is RSVP? Responsive voice please. It means respond if you please. So we are writing over here, we are not mentioning principal's home address. We have to mention the school address because this function is related with the school. RSVP principal, Sacred Heart Convent School, MacLeod-Ganj. Okay. And at last, in note, if you would like to write, you can write down, please do not carry mobile phones to the auditorium. So beta, have you got my point? That only the third person, only the name of the host. It means in every invitation, in formal invitation, whenever you are writing formal invitation, you have to only change the name of the host. Okay, name of the host will be changed and the request line will be same. Okay, then name of the function will be changed, time, place will be changed, but the matter will be in the same way. Matter will be in the same way. Okay, so first of all we have to mention the name of the host, then request line, then name of the function, timeline. At last, if you would like to mention some note and all, you can mention over it. Fine. So this is the way of writing formal invitation. So we will take one more example over here. Suppose Master Shyamlal and Sons are opening a new journal store, Galaxy Novelties, in Gitanjali Enclave, Dwarika, Delhi. The inauguration ceremony is fixed for Sunday, the 19th of October 2020 at 11 am. Prepare a draft of formal invitation letter for the purpose. Okay. So same thing, when we are sending in bulk, we have to write in what way? We have to write in formal printed way. Okay, printed in card format. So see over here, who is the host over here? Who is the host over here, beta? Who is the host over here? Messrs Shyamlal and Sons. Okay, means Messrs Shyamlal and Sons are host. Okay, host. Then what function? What function? Opening a new journal store, means inauguration ceremony. Name of the honorary, Galaxy Novelties. Okay, and date time is Sunday the 19th of October 2020 and time is 11 am. Now same thing we have to mention over here, Master Shyamlal and Sons. Second line, standard expression to invite, request the pleasure of your company on the grand occasion of, or cordially invites you on what occasion? On the opening ceremony or inauguration, okay, of Galaxy Novelty. So it is the way of writing. It is the way of writing card type invitation, printed one. So see answer. Master Shyamlal and Sons announce the opening of Galaxy Novelties. Why announce the opening? Why announce the opening is used over here. You can also use request the pleasure of your company. In place of announce the opening of, you can write down request the, you can write down request the pleasure of your company. Request the pleasure of your company, or what you can write down? You can write down cordially invites you. Okay, and now so it is also right, but better see over here, announce. We are not writing announces. Why? Because Master Shyamlal and Sons is plural. Okay, so that's why we are writing announces. If single name is mentioned over here, only single name is mentioned over here, Mrs. XYZ or Mr. XYZ, then we have to write down announces. Then we have to write down announces. Okay, then we have to write down announces. Fine. So announces the opening of Galaxy Novelties. Galaxy Novelties, name of the honorary, a journal store in Gitanjali Enclave. Address, okay, inauguration. On date, timeline, all are cordially invited. All are cordially invited means to make our invitation attractive, we are making one note or some expression. Visit for all kinds of grocery and domestic items. Okay, fine. And avail inaugural discount of 10% on all goods. So what is it? It is to attract or to make our invitation, wonderful and special. We have to mention these kind of some expression. At last, don't forget to mention RSVP. RSVP, responsive voice plate, means what? Respond if you please. And see, Galaxy Novelties, what is it? Because the address of that place, because if we are not going there, then we have to send our reply to Galaxy Novelties, or we can send our reply or respond on the phone. Okay, now we will see different kind of the invitation related to different occasion. Formal, printed one. Okay, so your sister Nivedita is going to marry Akhilesh, son of Mr. and Mrs. S.M. Joshi, Nainital. Your father, Mr. K.S. Bhardwaj, has planned to hold the wedding at Hotel Kunal, New Delhi on 25th May 2020 at 8 p.m. Write a formal invitation on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. K.S. Bhardwaj, inviting guests to the auspicious occasion, give other details, do not exceed 50 words. Okay, do not exceed 50 words. Now see over here, who is the host? Who is the host over here? Who is the host? Your sister Nivedita is going to marry Akhilesh. So honorary name is Nivedita and Akhilesh. Akhilesh father name is Mr. and Mrs. SM Joshi Nainital. Fine. But in question it is given your father Mr. K.S. Bharadwaj has planned to hold the wedding at Hotel Kunal, New Delhi on 25th May 2020 at 8 p.m. And you have to write and you have to draft the invitation on behalf of Mr. and Mr. K.S. Bharadwaj. Means your sister is going to get married and you have to draft an invitation, draft a formal invitation, printed one on the behalf of Mr. and Mrs. K.S. Bharadwaj. Fine. And now how will we write it? We will write like this way. Mr. and Mrs. You can use over here what? Mr. and Mrs. You can use over here beta. Mrs. and Mr. Fine. You can you can write in this way also. Mr. and Mrs. or Mrs. and Mr. Mrs. and Mr. Fine. Then request the pleasure of your company on the auspicious occasion of. So have you got my point? Name of the host. Name of the host, and after name of the host we have to mention request line. Then after request line, function name. What is the name of the function? Occasion marriage of their daughter. On a name Nivedita with Akhilesh. In question we have already given Akhilesh's father's name. So we are writing son of Mr. and Mrs. SM Joshi of Nainital. Then we have to mention timeline on Friday, that 25th May 2020. So students, can you see over here, we can directly write down Hotel Kunal, New Delhi, and we have to mention the program in marriage or in the function that has event of 2 or 3 days. We can mention the program list. Okay, Friday the 25th May 2020, the reception of Bharat, dinner, wedding ceremony, and time Saturday. Okay, Saturday 26 May 2020 Doli. Okay, RSVP is given over here. What is given? Bharadwaj Chemicals, Faridabad. Okay, now see over here, we are arranging. Now I would like to mention over here that we are arranging the marriage function, where the marriage function at Hotel Kunal, but RSVP address is different because it is home address, and we have to mention the home address while writing invitation. I have on my first video, I have already cleared it, that whenever we are writing invitation, we are inviting someone in hotel or somewhere, but in RSVP we have to mention our home address, because if someone is sending the reply, he or she can send the reply at our house. So Bharadwaj Chemicals, Faridabad, New Cosmetics, New Delhi, phone number. Okay, and with the best compliments from all relatives and friends, or we can write down what? Bharadwaj family. We can write down Bharadwaj family, or whatever we can write down some special requests, some special names, or family members name we can mention over here. So, fine. So it is the way of writing what? Formal invitation. Fine. So first of all we have to mention what? Beta, we have to mention name of the host, then request line, then function name. In every function you have to mention over it. Suppose ring ceremony is there, then Mr. and Mrs. K.S. Bharadwaj request the pleasure of your company on the auspicious occasion of. Then ring ceremony of their daughter. Okay, daughter name Nivedita, date, time, venue. Okay. Now I would like to make over here, I would like to mention over here what beta, that suppose in case you don't want to follow the system of date, time, and you don't want to write this way, so you can write down date, time, and venue. You can mention in this way also, or you can close it in box. Okay, in card we can write down separately. In card we can make a box and we can write down date, time, venue. Okay, it is not necessary to write in this way only. Which way? Date, time, venue. Fine. So this is the way of writing formal invitation, printed one. I hope that you all will go through these questions and note down in your notebook. Fine. So go through these examples, and tomorrow we will discuss informal invitation. Okay, informal invitation and handwritten formal invitation. Fine. Thank you. Have a nice day.